Every other Spartan,
The fuck,
every
man?
soldier, when
You
they
gonna
hear
take out
about this,
Forge?
they're gonna hate us.
This is not your cave, but you are welcome in it.
How do we have a way we can always bring players in, right?
That means is we're able to get the biggest audience we've ever had.
It is an amazing chance for us to really just kind of excite new players.
And really exciting to new players.
It's great for newer players.
For players who are new to Halo, let's help them learn what this universe is about. Some of these characters, what are they about?
We knew we wanted to expand the audience as far as we could, but still satisfy the core as much as possible.
All right, let's take a look at the gear. First off, check out your controls, okay? They're a little different this time. I don't want to hear you crying about how you didn't understand which button made you jump.
Look at Halo's audience. You've got a group of players that really gravitates towards campaign, and then another group of players that really gravitates towards multiplayer.
Campaign prepares an amazing table, but multiplayer's your meal. I could eat it every goddamn day, forever.
What is Halo multiplayer? And for me, it boils down to this tight arena-style combat and big team battle, this wide open, vehicle-infused kind of combat.
Invasion is this big team battle. We sort of sat down and said, let's try to make an objective game that has elements like Slayer and try to make that more fun. And we wanted a big, huge, lots of guys and all these fictional elements.
Remember how excited I was with like this big combat with vehicles going all over the place.
Halo means something different for everyone, right? I think that's what makes Halo great.
We have what we call the party games. We have Race, we have Oddball, we have King of the Hill, but like Slayer's the thing you keep coming back to. Like for me, Slayer is the game. Slayer is multiplayer.
When we set out to look at Halo Infinite from a high level and the direction of what it is, there's lots of exciting things there because we really wanted to push what are the things that are true to Halo, but what are the things that fans haven't seen yet.
You pit him against the groups that he would normally be aligned with.
An active roster lets you link up with your friends. If they're already in a match, QJoin will drop you in when their game is over so you don't have to wait around with your finger up your like you normally do. Before each game begins, make sure you cast your vote to get the game type you want, all right? No more veto power.
Without players thinking about it, we hope that it will lead to better social encounters.
We're taking that awesome legacy or classic Halo combat experience and modernizing it.
We support customization in the game. Coatings offer us a unique opportunity to craft some hyper-polished looks and let you express yourselves in ways you've never been able to before.
Next stop, the armory. Choose an emblem, a service tag, and a paint job. Not all of the armor is available in the beta, but trust me, there is plenty of cool stuff to check out. And the more you play, the more you get.
We're coming at this from a player-first mentality. So what that means is that there's no random loot in this. There's no loot boxes. If you can unlock something in the battle pass, we're not going to let any other players circumvent that by purchasing it out of the storefront.
Start at zero, nothing. Invest, play the game, no freebies. You're beta testing. Have a t-shirt, little avatar t-shirt. I'll be wearing one.
Unlock customization content, and we have a variety of places where they can do that. First off is the battle pass.
Everything that you see in the game, there's a path to getting. We can make this game about you.
I really wanted to make sure that players were able to invest themselves in the Spartans that they create.
All customization is just cosmetic.
We feel like we've got a pretty good selection at launch and what's going to be there for our fans.
The difference between good enough and awesome is so big. And I mean, there's this standard set by everyone here that, I mean, good enough sucks. You can't do good enough.
We have some new stuff in the works already and just can't wait to really get into that as soon as this game comes out.
It's a hard kind of thing to live up to, but it's I mean, the game's going to be better for it.
I was hoping for Halo 1.5 or 6, you know, and a few new features, a couple of new weapons, but just seeing how it's exploding, it's really incredible.
We need to be either as good as Halo 2, and obviously that is our bar, is at least as good, better, as helping better.
They really designed this to be a celebration of previous Halo, as well as an iteration of where Halo can go next.
In the end, it's all about the game, and the game is king.
The beta. It's super important to have these like big ticket like milestones that sort of force a bunch of wishy-washy designers to get their shit together.
They do things that you would never expect. They find any upper hand that they can find in the game, they're going to exploit. And that's good. That's what we want to see, because then we can fill those holes.
You're juggling plates, right? You're just sitting there spinning the plates, and occasionally once you're spinning, you're like, ah! And you're like, making Viz more powerful. And everyone's like, no, I'm picking Viz. And you're like, okay, make it less powerful. And then, oh, now everyone like, I mean, that's what Sage and those guys are doing. It's a fucking huge challenge.
Right now, at this exact moment in development, Armor Lock's insane. It's super powerful. I love it.
It is just fucking fun.
And so we knew that if we had those people on site, that would make our game so much better because we would have all that knowledge.
It's a really good shortcut to good test data. The key to Bungie's success is not some sort of magic. It's testers that keep the build stable to make sure that everything is as fun as it could be. We're kind of the old school beta where it's like, here's our software that isn't finished yet.
Beat the shit out of our code, come break our cookie system, come try to, like, it's a great security test. Maybe they're gonna find new glitches that we can fix. That's why I'm like, please, please, find new glitches, find new glitches.
I mean, Halo's always been about the community conversation.
We want to make sure we hear our players, make changes where we can based on that feedback, make sure the game is ready for launch, and then even beyond launch.
So we're releasing what we'll call the beta of Match XP. And so since we launched Halo Infinite, one of the very first pieces of feedback was, hey, I want to be able to have rewards based off of what I do and how I do in a match, right?
We really wanted to take that kind of concept, those feels you had, you know, playing the previous games, and just turn the volume up.
Get our flag! Come right our flag! Oh! Yeah! Bungie! You all suck. You guys suck.
Going back to like what is the core foundation of what made the great Halo multiplayer arena matches great. Halo, it's really about fair and balanced starts, so everybody's on equal footing when they come off the rip. And then once they start running around, it's about scavenging. It's about finding new toys.
All right, hi, I'm Blackstar. Yes, the one you know and love. Cyberfree. Cyberfree. Arizona. That's Shishka.
I'm Shishka. Nice to meet you all.
Mr. Smiley. Yeah, Mr. Smiley. Brian from Bungie. We got someone from Bungie here. That's right.
There's 35, 40 people here, and they're all about Halo, and they all post on these online forums, and they're all like these internet beings that like we finally get to shake hands with.
Partnering with our players on the road to launch and after launch is absolutely critical, right?
I do these LAN fests like every 6 months or so. Some of the people that are showing up are regulars. There's always new people. It's just Halo ties it all together.
We also want an experience that's competitive and fair. We are a very competitive game. That's our DNA. That's who we are, right? You go back all the way to the very first Halo, right? Multiplayer. I mean, it is a highly competitive game, and so.
Bam! Games, push. Rating, push. Division.
The arena divisions are broken up into Onyx, Gold, Silver, and Steel.
You can say, oh yeah, I was Gold, you know, and like that means something. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. You're basically a AAA baseball player. And I'm like, I'm Onyx. Like, you just met fucking Roger Clemens.
I'd love to talk a little bit about the philosophy of ranked and competitive gameplay for Halo Infinite.
We looked at competitive settings the same way that we looked at the rest of the game, like we haven't talked about it. We wanted to be very, very Halo to its core, right? And like uphold the pillars of Halo. We really wanted to make sure that this, the competitive settings felt like competitive Halo, felt like home.
There's that magical step in the process, and like it stops being software, and all of a sudden it's more like this thing. I'm playing with my friends, having a beer. It's awesome.
I think the biggest question that Halo asks when someone grabs a controller and starts playing it is, how far can you push this thing?
There's a really weird feature in Halo. I won't call it a bug, out of respect.
The position a character is normally in when playing the game, they have their gun up, they're looking around for somebody else going to shoot them, and then as you lower the gun, the character looks down, but at the last minute there looks back up. And we can make them bob their head to talk, to show who's talking, movement. We can have them turn to face people.
Well, looks like Caboose has hurt himself.
This is the bug that makes it possible. You know, without this, we couldn't do it.
No, I don't know. I'd like to keep doing it basically as long as Bungie and the fans will put up with us.
What's it like working with Marty? That's a good question.
Joe? Oh, well, I mean, it's the best.
Working with Marty is an effort in patience and restraint.
He's hilarious, he's funny, he's sharp.
He gets to bitch like nobody's business about how much work he has and how little time there is.
We work together really well.
The two of us together are the most unlikely couple for a variety of reasons.
He I hate him, actually.
And we're kicking off a journey, an experience that's going to evolve month to month, season to season, year after year.
For at least the first 2 or 3 hours, I expect to be very competitive with the world before they figure this game out.
Good job.
And I'm gonna savor those 2 to 3 hours of glory where I am stomping everybody else at my own game, and then they're going to turn the tables on me, and it's not gonna be pretty.
There's so much creativity.
Save his head. Dispose of the rest.